FreedomToons. The right on YouTube has a very, very robust system of getting people to watch their content and having a very diverse content pool. You look at the political left, see people like me, live streamers. You can watch me live. I usually stream on the weekends. Make sure to hit that bell icon so that you know when I do. That is a plug, but it does matter because I do like seeing people in streams. But outside of that, we don't have a very diverse media. We have streamers and we have video essayists. That's about all we have. Whereas the political right has enough funding to have people such as FreedomToons, guy who produces admittedly very low quality, not very good cartoons, but cartoons in general. They have podcast hosts, which the left also does, but no one really listens to leftist podcasts like that. But they have podcast hosts. They have small little shows like Brett Cooper, who we recently covered because a viewer suggested it in the comments. But we are talking about FreedomToons. One of the biggest issues with FreedomToons, and we're about to watch one of these videos, is that FreedomToons largely targets You Have a Good Night, our kind friend who has been here most of the stream. The issue with FreedomToons is that FreedomToons content seems to really be targeting kind of little kids with its fun visuals and things like that. And it's simple content. So we have this video right here, politics in 20 seconds. And then we also have this thing right here. And it seems like our kind friend Seamus here, I used to watch his content. He appears to kinda be going after a younger audience with his simple, short, little, nice animated videos, which is quite interesting. Because as we all know, kids like animation. And I think this is a little weird. So, let's watch one of these videos that he made concerning schooling. Let's do it.
Okay, class, you absolutely butchered your last unit, which is why I'm reassigning all of the work. Oh, man. And if you fail this time, I'll be reassigning all of your genders.
What?
I'm a third grade teacher. In this state, I'm licensed to pick your gender for you. And if you don't pass this unit, I'm going to have to assume it's because you're too tortured by your dysphoria to pay any attention.
My parents would never believe it.
Your parents? Hello, DCFS? Yes, my poor student. She's internalized transphobia because her parents won't acknowledge her gender identity. She won't even accept the use of female pronouns. But I can tell. A third grade teacher can always tell.
You monster!
I'm not a monster, Jimmy. I'm the only one who understands you, which is why you need to listen to me when I tell you. Study for the exam.
No, golly! George Washington Carver was...
Does anyone else have any questions or concerns?
Well, when do we have to have it all redone by?
You'll be completing every homework assignment tonight and taking all of the quizzes and tests tomorrow.
Oh, man!
What's that? Are you frustrated about not being able to express your identity? I can fix that for you. Good job, class. Wonderful.
I don't understand paragraph 2.
You seem to be confused about a lot, don't you?
I can't focus with all this pressure.
Adderall or androgen, it's up to you. I will not be embarrassed by your test scores ever again. Do you understand?
What's going on in here? I heard yelling.
What is going on, class?
Nothing.
You're threatening them again? They haven't even gone through puberty! Don't transgender prepubescent kids! You've all got 7 years to get into shape. If we're not breaking boys' records, we will be breaking girls' records.
Okay. So, that was something. That was certainly something. So, I feel that video, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like what we just watched is, it speaks to a deeper anxiety that for some reason a lot of people have. And yes, it was attempting to be humorous, and an attempt was certainly made. But not all attempts are successful, like the attempted abortion that Seamus's mother had. Not everything is successful, unfortunately. So, that was an edgy joke. See, that's how you actually do comedy. Let's get into it. I am a high school senior. And yes, you can almost imagine that this is bad satire, but this isn't bad satire. I'm a high school senior, and for some reason, a lot of people, so I'm actually in school. For some reason, a lot of people have this anxiety that kids are going to school and getting their gender transed. That they're walking through the school, they're walking through the metal detectors that schools must have now, due to the fact that people can get murdered in schools now, due to people like Seamus not believing in common sense gun legislation. By the way, I believe in gun ownership. I just think that we should have some common sense restrictions to stop bad people from getting their hands on guns. Imagine that. Regardless, these kids, they apparently, the metal detectors that they have to walk through whenever they enter a school is also like the gender transifying beam that is turning all of these kids trans. And then they sit in their classroom and their teacher is sitting up there with the chalk. No teacher uses chalk anymore, and they're going, "You must be trans, you must be trans." Like, for some reason, a lot of people have this idea that this is what's happening in schools, and I'm here to tell you, as a school student, take your antipsychotics. Please, this isn't happening. This is not happening. Look, I go to a school with a couple of trans kids walking around. And I'll tell you one thing about them. None of them are like that because of their teachers. Actually, as a matter of fact, a lot of them come into friction with their teachers because of it. Imagine that. Imagine that. It's almost like, let me put it like this. When a student is in a social setting, a more progressive social setting among their peers, as many people in my generation Gen Z are more progressive, they feel like they can express themselves more, and who they believe they are, and who they aren't. And so, this whole, oh, they're transing the school's genders. They're transing the school kids' genders. That's not what's happening. These kids are going to school, and they feel safe among their peers to express who they actually are. That's it. That's all that's happening. And again, I'm saying this to you as a high school senior. No one is transing anyone's genders. I'm saying this as people with younger siblings in school. No one is transing their genders. With younger cousins in school, no one is doing that. These people are just in a situation where they feel safe. They feel safe. And so they're expressing themselves. This isn't some third grade teacher forcing it on the kids. Yeah? And if we're talking about systems where parents may not be being told about this, or systems where students are allowed to talk to teachers about this, I'll tell you why those systems exist. It's because some people don't support their children. It's that simple. Some kids, unfortunately, feel safer to express themselves at school than at home because of people like FreedomToons over here and his kind of content and the beliefs that he espouses. Yeah? If these people genuinely cared about kids, which they don't, but if they genuinely cared about kids, they wouldn't be in support of us. They would be in support of gender-affirming care, such as puberty blockers and hormones once puberty occurs. Yeah? They would be in support of that because it has shown to reduce the likelihood of suicidality among trans people. They would be in favor of social affirmation, but they're not. And then they rely on the argument of, oh, well, the kids don't know what they want. They're not smart enough. I'm 18. Yeah? Just turned 18. And you know what I've been being asked since I was 12? Not even 12, since I was 6. Since I started school. You know what college you want to go to? You know what you want to be when you grow up? You know what you want your major to be? You know what job you want? I'm wearing a college hoodie right now. Not one I'm gonna go to, but it was a gift. Yeah. And then these people expect students to know what they want to do, and then they turn around and then they deny them these things. And this inconsistency in going, you must know these things, that'll potentially put you in debt. But if you think you know these things, oh no, just wait a little bit, and we're not going to give you the care that you need. This inconsistency is birthed out of a deep, deep fear and hatred of trans people, flat out. And this idea that this is some sinister thing being pushed onto children is false. And it is consistently being said by people who have no idea what's going on in schools, because this isn't what's happening. This is not what's happening at all. Yeah? And I challenge you, step into a school, figure out what's actually going on, sit in a couple of classes. Because I'll tell you, the extent of this stuff is whatever you are, I'll respect it, and I'm happy that you know what you are and who you are. That's it. You can say that about anything. Oh, you like sports? I'm happy and I respect that you know that you like football and that's what you want to do with your life. You want to go into engineering? I respect that. I'm happy that's what you want to do with your life. Art? People are a little apprehensive about students going into art, but the sentiment still stands. This is no different. This is no different. Let people live their lives. You call yourself FreedomToons? Give people the freedom to live their lives as they wish, and stop portraying people as demons when their only job, not only job, but one of the major aspects of their job is to teach students about the world and give them emotional support. That's it. That being said, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and recommend me what you want me to cover. I covered this because someone recommended it, so who knows, your thing might be watched by me. It probably will, considering how small the channel is and how little people cover. So, I love you all, and yeah, see you in the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop record button.